The film opens on a quiet morning in a busy city. A window washer is cleaning the glass of a tall skyscraper when a body suddenly crashes onto the truck below with horrific force. Not long after, two detectives sit in a diner. One of them, Detective Bowden, is a recovering alcoholic. The other talks about the importance of forgiveness, especially for people who have caused terrible pain while drunk. Bowden admits forgiveness is hard. 5 years earlier, a drunk driver killed his wife and young son. He still struggles with it and wishes they could talk about normal things instead. Bowden is called to a crime scene. Another detective shows him the dented truck with the dead body on top. Bowden examines the corpse and looks up at the surrounding buildings. The fall seems too powerful for such a short drop. Then he notices there is no broken glass on the pavement around the truck, which suggests the body was moved or rolled there. They walk around the corner and spot a modern skyscraper that better matches the height needed for such an impact. Inside the building, 5 strangers are introduced one by one as they head toward the elevators. First, a quiet man in a hoodie lingers near the entrance. Next, a sharply dressed man in a red tie walks past him and enters the lobby. A security guard at the reception desk answers a phone call. An elderly woman stands confused in the middle of the lobby. A young woman enters, signs the visitor log after being stopped by the guard, and joins the line. The security guard tells his colleague he needs to deliver a package to the 39th floor and heads to the elevators. The man in the red tie and the old lady try one elevator but find it full, so they take the next empty one. The security guard joins them. As the doors begin to close, the young woman calls out and slips inside. Moments later, the man in the hoodie yells and forces the doors open, joining them at the last second. The elevator starts moving normally, then suddenly jerks to a stop and jams between floors. In the main security room, an older guard watches a hockey game while a younger guard enters and chats with him. They notice one elevator is stuck in inspection mode. The older guard calls the building engineer. Meanwhile, the engineer is high up on the building fixing a broken window. The guard tells him to check the elevator first because people are trapped inside. Back in the elevator, tension rises quickly. Imri, the security guard, a temporary worker, gets anxious. The old lady bombards him with questions about emergency procedures. A voice crackles over the intercom, the older security guard, telling them an engineer is on the way. He asks them to speak toward the camera, but the microphone is broken so he cannot hear them. The security guard inside tries calling the lobby from his cell phone but gets no signal. The young woman lends him hers. The call drops almost immediately. Soft music begins playing in the elevator. The man in the red tie starts singing along, annoying everyone. Up on the roof, the engineer's hat blows off in the wind and he nearly falls. Down below, the two detectives approach the building. Bowden finds fresh glass on the pavement and stops a man sweeping more of it away, declaring the area a crime scene. A huge shard of glass suddenly falls from above, nearly killing his partner, confirming something is very wrong. The engineer reaches the machine room and calls down to say the elevator looks fine from above. He resets it, but nothing changes. He decides to check from the basement. Meanwhile, the guards in the security room discuss the broken window and the possible suicide. The younger guard grows visibly uneasy. Inside the stuck elevator, the lights flicker. The old lady accuses the security guard of touching her when the lights went out. He apologizes, admitting he is claustrophobic. The man in the hoodie pries open a ceiling panel for air. The security guard suggests climbing out. Wait, but the others warn it is too dangerous. The engineer pulls a lever below. Still no movement. He heads back to the roof to reset manually. The lights flicker again. The younger guard in the security room sees something strange and terrifying on the monitor, but the older guard dismisses it as static. The engineer hears a strange noise in the shaft and follows it. An elevator suddenly drops, nearly crushing him. The lights in the trapped elevator go out completely. Strange noises echo in the darkness. When the lights return, the young woman is lying on the floor, bleeding badly from her back. She says it felt like something bitter. The man in the red tie has blood on his shirt and tries to hide it. The security guard frisks him for a weapon. The guards in the security room decide to call the police. An assault has occurred. Detective Bowden and his partner arrive at the security office. The older guard shows them the footage and explains the situation. Bowden assesses the trapped group and orders the elevator company repairman and the fire department. He asks about the security guard inside and learns he is only a temp. The younger guard tries to tell Bowden about the strange figure he saw on camera, but both the older guard and Bowden brush it off. Bowden has the people in the elevator hold up their IDs to the camera, but the writing is too small to read. He and his partner go to the lobby to check the visitor log. While they are gone, the younger guard keeps watching the monitor. The lights flicker again. Suddenly, the young woman sees a horrifying vision. Everyone in the elevator appears as bloody corpses on the floor. A second later, and everything returns to normal. The lights go out completely. The mirror shatters. Strange noises fill the darkness. When the lights return, the man in the red tie is stabbed in the neck with a shard of glass from the broken mirror. He collapses dead. The younger guard calls Bowden back immediately. Bowden declares it a crime scene and calls for backup. The younger guard begins telling an old legend. When the devil comes to collect souls, a suicide always happens first. Then people start dying one by one. The devil takes human form and torments the group. One of the 5 people in that elevator, he says, is the devil himself. Bowden remains skeptical, but grows suspicious of the temp security guard after learning he has a violent criminal record. The people inside the elevator start accusing each other. But the fire department arrives and tries to pry the doors open. They won't budge. The man in the hoodie tries to climb out the top, but the security guard pulls him back down. Bowden interviews the person the dead man in the red tie was supposed to meet. He learns the victim was a con artist who had scammed many people. Meanwhile, the group inside the elevator begins frisking each other for weapons. The younger guard finds footage showing the old lady stealing wallets earlier. Bowden comments that every person in that elevator seems to have done something evil. The lights flicker again and go out. When they return, the old lady is hanging dead from the side of the elevator, strung up gruesomely. Bowden orders an immediate lockdown of the building. The older security guard heads to the basement to shut off the water. Though the younger guard is left alone and begins reciting prayers over the intercom. The people in the elevator hear it and grow angry. A fight breaks out between the security guard and the man in the hoodie. The young woman screams for the guard to kill the other man. Bowden and his partner return and order everyone to put their hands on the walls. Bowden asks the younger guard how his devil story ends. The guard replies simply that they all die. Bowden learns the young woman was married to a rich man and was heading to see a divorce lawyer specializing in forensic accounting. He suspects her husband, who owns the building's security company, might be behind everything. The detectives believe the temp security guard is the killer and the other deaths were distractions. The lights go out again. When they return, the security guard is dead, brutally murdered. Only the man in the hoodie and the young woman remain. They grab shards of glass and stand ready to defend themselves. Bowden desperately asks the younger guard for help. The guard says they must take responsibility for their sins. Bowden shares his own painful story. He was the drunk driver who killed his own wife and son 5 years ago. He left an apology note on their car and ran. He begs the 2 remaining people to drop the glass. They do so reluctantly. The lights go out once more. When they return, the young woman is on the ground with a piece of glass in her throat. The man in the hoodie tries to help her. Suddenly, the old lady's body rises behind him. She speaks in a terrifying voice. "It's your turn now." The man has a flashback. He is driving drunk, reaching for a beer, and crashes into another car. He sees the woman he killed pinned under the wreckage. Before dying, she points to her child lying injured in the grass. Overcome with guilt, he fled the scene after leaving the apology note. Back in the elevator, the man begs the devil, now revealed in the old lady's body, to take him instead of the young woman. The devil refuses. The elevator suddenly plummets down the shaft. When it stops, the man grabs the dead engineer's radio and confesses everything to Bowden. The detective and the younger guard listen in horror. The young woman dies in the man's arms. The devil, furious, says she really wanted him. The lights go out and come back on as the firemen finally pry the doors open. Only the man in the hoodie remains alive, speared through the body. The old lady has vanished. Later, paramedics remove the bodies. Bowden sees the man sitting in the lobby and says he will take him to the station. In the car, the man sits in the back seat. Bowden turns to him and says quietly, "It was my family you killed that day." After a long pause, he adds, "And after all this time, I forgive you." Let me know in the comments. If this recap kept you on edge, smash that like button, subscribe for more horror breakdowns, and turn on notifications so you never miss one.